Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday Newsday. A little bit delayed today, but no worries. We are here and ready to chat. I'm Alternis. I'm the Community and Marketing Director for Catalyst, and I'm here with Jason Hardy, our RPG Director.
Hey, Ram, how's it going?
Good. This is my second time seeing you today.
Well, that's 2 times too many for you, but I enjoy it.
Same though. Well, it's good to see you in the streets of Chicago.
I will be home in a moment, so I'll be less bouncy.
It gives us a little bit of movement on the screen. I like it.
And it's a lovely day here, so enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, what I will do is start with the news, and then we'll jump into our topics with Jason for today. So as per usual, I will bring up the release schedule and talk about what's coming. So the big thing is next week for battletech is Gothic. So that will be releasing October 1st along with the Gothic salvage box. Keep in mind that in November is when we should be seeing the 100mm Atlas for Gothic. So you'll have to come back for that. But big news with Gothic and the salvage box. Also slated for October is the Technical Readout 3025 Commemorative Edition. And I did get word that our warehouse has gotten the 21st Centauri Lancers Command Lance. So those are going to be the Barnes & Noble exclusive for 6 months. So you should be seeing those in stores soon. When I have a drop date on that, I'll let you guys know. And then in 6 months, that'll come out to general retail. For November, we've got Force Manual Mercenaries on the list. We've got Aces, of course, Scouring Sands, the first box set. And then December, we've got House Karita Ranger Lance Force Pack and House Karita Command Lance Force Pack. Also, I don't have full details on this. Jason, you might know more, but a little birdie told me in the director's call today that we're going to have Battletech and Shadowrun Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, I just saw the preview of that's going to be a PAX Unplugged special.
Ooh.
So if you go to PAX, and we might have them some places else. I'm not sure. That's gotta get all the details from Mike, but I know there'll be a PAX Unplugged to get a sheet of either BattleTech or Shadowrun Christmas ornaments to make your tree the most awesome tree ever.
So I'll try to.
And look, Kat's very impressed too.
Yay, Kat! Hi, Kat. So I'll try to get more details because I literally heard about this today. So I'll try to get more details for you guys for next week. And we'll get you some images and more details about when and where that is going to be and how you can get yours.
Yeah, we should be able to show previews really soon.
Yeah, but I thought it was exciting news, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. And then for the RPG schedule, we have Risks and Rewards coming out in October, correct?
Yep, October 1st.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Risks and Rewards will have?
So that is following up on some of the corporate changes that have been going on. So you're going to get some campaign information on how to deal with how corporations are maneuvering the fallout of this Shadow War and the Unawakening and where their position is and how you can play games using that information.
Awesome. And then what about, we've got, is it November still for Deus Ex?
Yes, late November for Deus Ex Arcana.
And that's our advanced magic book, right?
Absolutely. So if you're playing any sort of awakened character and you want spells, add up powers, all the good magic stuff, then it will be in this book.
Awesome. Cool beans. From there, I'm going to come back to Shadowrun stuff when we get to our non-news stuff. Leviathan's fulfillment is still going on. I've heard that they were able to surge forward quite a bit last week, but I haven't gotten that through our official channel, so I don't want to say what that percentage is yet. That meeting is on Wednesdays, so we'll verify that on Wednesday. But that is moving forward. We have a new contact at the manufacturer that they've put us with, so we're trying to get them up to speed so we can get the international hubs inventory shipping. In the meantime, we have reached out to the hub contacts to start to get quotes together for our international backers. So you should be getting some backer updates pretty soon about what to expect, when we're going to see quotes hit, hopefully, and move that forward. Board game schedule, I believe, late October is when we'll be seeing Guardians of the Four Winds come to retail as well. So we've got kind of a nice newsletter schedule for you guys. We're going to do a newsletter. You should, I think, actually already have it today for talking about the end of Shadowrun Anarchy and a bunch of Shadowrun news. Then in 2 weeks, we're going to get you another newsletter that's going to feature everything Gothic for the release. That'll be 1 week after the release. So we'll let the usual platforms go with the first week of sales, and then we'll get you guys some bonus info in case you're on the fence. And then 2 weeks later, we'll get you guys info on the Quincy's Tavern partnership and the release of Guardians of the Four Winds. Also for board games, we do have a reprint or a relaunch of the Duke that's going to be coming for 2026. Runefire is launching in February. I believe it's February 3rd of 2026. So that's coming to Kickstarter. We've got checking what else I'm missing. I know there's a second Quincy's game that's coming next year, and I keep forgetting the name of it. Do you remember the name of it?
Is that the Barkeep's Bones game?
Yeah, I always remember it's a double B, and I cannot remember what the name is. So I'm glad
it's a fun game. I played it like 4 or 5 times now.
I haven't played it yet. I think that's why I have difficulty remembering it.
Yeah, and I beat Tara in it, so you know it now has a real special place in my heart.
Awesome.
And Kat beat Quincy in it, so it has a special place in her heart.
Woo! Unforgettable there. Awesome. So that's some of the board game news of what's coming. Fiction, let me go to my notes that Mikkel always sends me. Let's see here. Wee! Scrolling up to all of the news. I've got... Shadowrun has a sale store-wide on our online store. It's up to 40% off all Shadowrun, which is including... we've got two sales happening. Up to 40% off, including Hollow Streets and older editions on Drive-Thru RPG, and then our store is 40% off everything Shadowrun right now for the next 2 weeks. So check that out. Stock up on your Sixth World stuffs. We've got The Good, the Bad, and the Sinless by Stephen Dedman, which is fiction that's out now. The Core, a battletech, a Battlecore Anthology, Volume 1 audiobook is now available on Audible. So my mods will drop that in chat. Our friends at Paizo have launched their crowdfunding campaign for Pathfinder Quest on BackerKit. If you want to back that, if you love Pathfinder stuff, we'll be co-supporting each other as we gear up for the release of Runefire as well. Shrapnel number 22 is out, so there's a link for you to get that.
And I'm in it, so go get it.
Go get the Shrapnel for some extra Jason M. Hardy. What else? I've got... the Shadowrun Anarchy 2.0 preview from Black Book Editions. So this is, you can kind of get a sneak peek of the system and even run a one-shot with the snippet of the Anarchy 2.0 rulebook. It is in French, but browsers should allow for translation there. And for the Kickstarter, you can get the book in English or in French. I think that's all of my links. And if I missed anything, chat and therefore the moderators will let me know. So awesome. All right. So hi, Jason. Oh, you're back at your
I have
computer
made
now.
it back to my desk, yes, instead of
Awesome.
wandering around.
Awesome. Well, let's kind of kick off. First of all, you have some exciting news that's going to happen next week.
2 weeks, yeah, but yeah, I got a call last night saying buy a plane ticket to Melbourne.
So you're going to PAX Australia.
Going to PAX Australia. So I will be at the Catalyst booth at PAX Australia. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood, absolutely drop by because I won't know anyone. And so I'd be happy to say hi to literally anyone.
So you're going to be there with Lauren and Talon, correct?
Talon, at least. I don't know if Lauren's there or not.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the two of them going. So go see the Catalyst booth. Go say hi to Jason. And it's really exciting that I was like, how do I get a call like this?
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Hit me with your Australia tips, or at least your Melbourne tips, because I understand it's a large continent and I can't, do the whole thing in 4 days.
Yeah. So if there's anything Jason should see, let him know. And then you fly back and it's literally Gamehole Con right after, right?
Yeah, the very next day after I fly back, we'll be driving to Madison for Gamehole.
Wow. Kat's gonna miss you.
Yes, we are already making preparations for how she can survive with as a single mother for a little bit.
Oh, awesome. Well, and then at Gamehole, you're gonna be running some games too, right?
Yeah, I'll be running both a frostpunk game and a Voltron game, so looking forward to those games because they're fun.
Awesome. Can you give us what's the news on frostpunk and Voltron?
So the news on frostpunk is that we are sending the Explorer's Guide to editing. So we've been done with the core book. I'm just waiting for 11-bit to give us a thumbs up on that. And the Explorer's Guide is all done with its writing too. So then that will be sent off to them in pretty short order. So a lot of good frostpunk goodness. As soon as they give us a green light, then we'll be getting PDFs into backers' hands. Voltron, I'm very excited about the approval we got for the Defender of the Universe text. Usually when I send text to licensees, all I want is for them to say approved, and they don't have to say anything else. Just tell me that it's approved and I can get on and we can get it to people. But they were so excited by this. This is like the nicest I've ever seen a licensee be in their comments. Like, oh, this is so good. It really captures the spirit of Voltron. I really like this. I really like this. And it was really nice. I sent it to the writers because it's credit to the writers for how good of a job they did for capturing the feel of Voltron and building out the universe. Just so they knew that they really nailed it and that the Voltron franchise people were very happy with them. So I figure if the caretakers of Voltron are happy with us, we're probably on the right track.
Awesome.
So that got approved. So we'll send that to layout soon. The Legendary Defender book has already been approved and is in layout. I saw the first chapter laid out of that just yesterday, and it's really gorgeous. So much cool Voltron art, and Matt, our production guy, did such a good job of capturing the feel of what a Voltron book should look like and just feeling, like a cartoon come to life. And it's really beautiful, and I'm excited for people to see it. So I would hope, especially Legendary Defender as a PDF, will be in backers' hands really soon. And Defender of the Universe should not be too far behind. And then, of course, once we have them as PDFs that we can send to the backers, they'll also be going to the printing press so that we can get the physical copies out to people not too long after that.
I did meet with Mike from Board Game Division yesterday, and he said that the board game is waiting for approvals right now. So hopefully that means we're close to manufacturing, and then can move toward getting that side done too, so that we can fulfill the Kickstarter sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and especially once the board game approvals get out. I know there have been a number of questions about the board game and how it'll play. And once he's got the full approvals from people, we can share a lot more information about what it looks like so people can know what they're getting. I have played that one. It's really fun. It's nice how the threats against you keep building as the game goes and makes it more urgent to get to the point where you need to form Voltron and kick some butt. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, my favorite part is shouting, "Form Voltron!"
That's always the best part.
Now, I do have some news as well that I got at the board game division meeting too. This is coming in a backer update. I just gave them the news last night, so the team is working on a backer update with all of this. But the company that we were working with to do the plushies, my understanding is that they're the only ones approved to do the licensing for Voltron plushies, but their licensing ran out. They've been really slow to work with, and that licensing could be another 3 months to reapprove or re-up their licensing. So we are going to have to nix the Voltron plushie. The prototypes came back. They needed a lot of work. It's just not working out. So we will be offering a full refund for the plushies for the 80 backers that got one. So
yeah, that makes me sad because I would very much love to have a Voltron that I could hug and keep me company. But we also don't want to give something that doesn't look like Voltron to people. If they paid for a plushie, they should get a Voltron plushie. And if we can't deliver that, then yeah, it'll just be refunded.
Yeah,
so that's unfortunate.
My little Archer wanted a friend, but
yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. So just giving you that news. Frostpunk, you said, is waiting approvals?
Yep, but we were plowing ahead on the Explorer's Guide, so that is done now. And then it's also getting the solo modules done. I've got the first one done, and I need to get the other solo.
I don't know if this will work well or not, but if it's okay with you, Jason, when we were at Gen Con, I got video on my phone of the special edition box. Can I show that?
It's so cool.
Am I allowed to show that?
Yes, you are.
All right, let me see if I can make this work. I'm not sure how it's going to come across on the phone, guys, but I'm at least going to try for you. So talk more about Frostpunk until I find it.
The fun thing about working on the Explorer's Guide is it worked out nicely that Bryn Bills, who helped write the core rule book and who also wrote the adventure scenario that's in the quick start rules, came back and wrote a lot of the Explorer's Guide, and he's just got a really good feel for the Frostpunk setting and knows how to kind of tease out all the ethical dilemmas and the society building that's key to Frostpunk. So he really put in a lot of interesting spots and locations to visit, and it'll, I think, really broaden people's games when they get into the Explorer's Guide. You know, New London and Edge and the settings that you get in the base game are really fun to play in, but then when you get a much broader variety and get to see just the different ways that people are surviving and what costs they had to pay to get to survive that way, it really gives a variety to the game, and it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right, I found the video.
All right, hit it.
Here we go. I'm gonna try to rush it up there. It makes the sound of the generator too, right?
No, it's the workday open. So it's that kind of alarm when you start work, and it says, you know, I forget exactly the words, but everyone up, time to work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blanking on it too, despite my many hours playing that game.
But it's a great feel, because, you know, when you hear that in the game, you know, it's time to get serious. People are going to work. You've got to make sure they produce enough, and so it's time to gear up. And that's exactly how it feels when you open that box and hear the sound. It's
awesome.
Beautifully done.
Awesome. Let's switch on over to Shadowrun Anarchy. The campaign ends on Thursday. How do you feel about how the campaign's done overall?
It's been great. I think it's gone beyond where I thought it would be, and the response has been fantastic. So I think that's just a great credit to how much the people at Black Book Editions really love Anarchy and work so hard to make an edition that brings out what they like about it, and just the fact that there's a good core of Anarchy players out there who really have gotten attached to that fast and fun way of playing Shadowrun.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with how it's been doing. It's good to see it kind of revitalize a lot of interest online and stuff like that, and I have high hopes for it. But for those that are just joining us, the two big differences that to me, one is the advantage and disadvantage system. So
right.
If you roll with advantage, 4s, 5s, and 6s count as successes. and disadvantage is just 6s count as successes.
Right.
And the other thing is the risk dice. So if you have your dice pool of 10d6 and you want to choose, you can choose all 10 or you can choose just one or none at all, or anywhere in between. You're going to add in dice of a different color to sub them out, and those are your risk dice. And any successes on those dice count as double, but any ones start to conglomerate glitches.
Yeah, that's where we're going to get glitches from.
Yeah, so 1-1 is a minor glitch, 2 1s is I think a major glitch, or I can't remember what it's called, and then 3 is catastrophic.
Yeah, just go put yourself in a hole right now.
Yeah. So. But your shadow amps can help offset some of that. So if you've got like wired reflexes and stuff like that, then you might be able to do more risk dice for some of those types of actions. But like socially, maybe you don't want to use as many risk dice, and so it's kind of cool when you can choose and to use it and not. Yeah, Michael Chandra says in chat, the French always love anarchy. Every time I talk about the French doing anarchy, I think of Hamilton and Lafayette going anarchy. So really love it. I've been really impressed with the system. It's been really fun to play. So.
Yeah, I think it just shows how they embrace the speed of anarchy and they wanted to keep it moving. And so in the revision, they didn't sacrifice any of that. And what they're trying to work on is just putting as much agency into players' hands as possible, so that if you're going to have, if you want to take a risk and you want to make the odds help you out, but also provide more danger, you can do that. And if you make good decisions that give you an advantage, then there's a very clear reward. And so I think the player agency is really emphasized in what they did.
Yeah, I like that. Then I've got, so I mentioned the new fiction. Any notes about the Shadowrun fiction line you want to talk about?
Just it's awesome. I love Shadowrun fiction. I mean, Stephen Dedman's been doing this for a long time. He's a veteran Shadowrun writer way back when we were doing the WizKids novels, when the Shadowrun Duels line came out. He did the first of his spaghetti Western-derived Shadowrun books, Fistful of Nuyen. And so John and I have talked that if one side effect of his book titling is it gets people to go back and watch old Clint Eastwood movies, then we've done that service to the world too.
Awesome.
So he knows the universe, he knows how it feels, but he puts his own spin on it. I think he's Australian too. Everything's coming up Australia this week.
Oh, awesome.
But we've got some really cool, and I don't think I can talk about them yet because I think we're too far away, but there's some really cool twists on Shadowrun fiction in the pipeline. Ooh. That will give some new ways of reading Shadowrun. That'll be a lot of fun if we do it right, and we've got the right talent in line to do it right. So I'm excited, but I can't announce it yet.
Okay. So
if you hear like noises in my house of someone being tortured, that's Aislinn jumping on Finn, so that's just the kids. Everything is fine.
The kids, one of which, by the way, is 25. He's 25 now?
Yeah.
That's gross. Tell him to stop it.
I'll tell him that he's gross and should stop it, absolutely.
Okay. The other thing, too, about Shadowrun audio that I do have behind the scenes on. So any time now, because the way Amazon approves things is weird, we should be getting the King of the Streets audiobook by O.C. Presley.
Ooh, cool. That O.C. Presley guy's pretty good at what he does.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, that's Opti from Shadowcasters Network. He did the Neo-Anarchist podcast. And he has Fraggy Unicorn Games now, which is very Shadowrun adjacent. And he's just overall an amazing being. So you should totally get that audiobook when it comes out. And then we've got for October, we just turned it in, but Changeling, the novel is coming to audio. So that'll be an exciting drop too.
Excellent. Love having more Shadowrun audio coming out because almost every convention people are asking for more audio. So
That's
excellent
awesome.
to have it in the pipeline.
There's supposed to be one every other month.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so really exciting for that.
I'll make sure I compliment John next time I see him. No, I won't. But I'll pretend to.
Just because someone asked, Turbo Turtle just asked in the chat. I usually don't watch chat, but I have it up in front of me today for some stupid reason. So I do have a fiction schedule for at least I can get you guys through the rest of this year. Let's see here. It is, I'm gonna scroll to my, if I was smart, I pinned it, but I'm afraid I didn't. All right, so for the rest of 2025, so the core is supposed to be September, so that just came out. We just talked about that. November is Redemption Rift. And then October is Changeling for Shadowrun. And then December, as of right now, is A Kiss to Die For. But if we have something readier, we might jump to that. I won't give the 2020. We do have an entire schedule for 2026, and Battletech is actually going to have a drop every single month, and Shadowrun is going to be every other month. So stay tuned for that, but I don't want to drop it in case something ends up moving.
Things can always go weird.
Yeah. So we'll let you know more. All right. So we talked about audio. How about so Shadowrun Takedown, I know that's technically a board game division item, so you don't have a ton of updates about that, but how are you feeling about getting closer to fulfillment and seeing Takedown come to retail? What are you excited about with that game?
I'm excited about it being done. It was not the smoothest process. No one who backed that Kickstarter needs me to tell them that. So it absolutely needs to get out, and it just keeps running into weird snag after weird snag. But with anything, I always wanted to get in people's hands because it's a really fun game. We just had so much fun playing it at Gen Con the year that it was kickstarted. It had so many good games, and ran away from Lauren when he realized maybe he could betray us all. But it's just the mechanism of having to race the clock adds such a tense element to it that it feels like Shadowrun, and you're having to make decisions on the fly and can't just be deliberate about everything, but see what you can do to run in quick and not die and get out. And it's just a lot of fun simulating Shadowrun that way. So I want people to be able to do it.
I have to say that both Takedown and Edge Zone, for being such a different platform or system than the RPG, it still feels like Shadowrun. The designers have done a really good job of that.
Yeah, they capture kind of different aspects of the game. Shadowrun or Edge Zone is a lot more about getting your team right and getting them built up and slowly building everything they need to take on harder and harder jobs. And Takedown is more the quick smash and grab, but you still got to build up your team because it's got the campaign mode, so you're going to get stronger as you go along. And so both of them capture that edge of your seat. Can you pull off this challenge? And if you pulled off that challenge, can you get a little bit better to pull off the next harder challenge?
Also, anyone in chat that can identify with this, every time I hear Takedown, I think of K-pop Demon Hunters right now. So
a lot of people are thinking about that right now.
Yeah, it's it has no reason to be as good as it is, but it is. So now, Jason, it's been a while since we talked about this, so say as much or little as you want to, but with Takedown comes miniatures. And with miniatures, we have talked about in the past a miniatures game.
Yes.
What's that looking like?
That's looking like I have been given the strict edict that Takedown needs to be in people's hands before I can talk about a miniatures game. So yeah, that is frustrating. That's one of the other reasons it's frustrating it has taken this long, because I'd really like to be able to see what we can do. Because if you were at Gen Con and saw the minis we had in the case, we have some really beautiful minis. And our art director spent a lot of time last year getting a whole line of minis ready to go because he loves the minis and he's good at helping people design them. So we've got some cool things. We're just, got to be able to do stuff with them. So once
Awesome.
takedown's in people's hands, I will make sure it gets focus.
Awesome. Let's talk about other RPGs that we've got coming up. So first of all, the Kung Fu Panda RPG came out at Gen Con.
Yeah.
And is gonna be an online release as well, right?
Yes, so that will be a PDF release. We'll get that up on drive-thru and on the Catalyst store. It's a short RPG, so only about 32 pages, but it just gets you right into the butt-kicking fun. What we did is we took the system that we're using for Voltron and for Frostpunk Dice Core, and we simplified it so that anyone of any age can play it and play it quickly. And so you can really get in and just the characters are all drawn up. Pick out your character, pick out the villains, and then start rolling the dice and see who smacks down who, and use Poe's belly bounce ability to get 2 opponents at once. And all sorts of good fun. And we played such a fun game of it at Gen Con. I had so much fun in that game because we had the main writer of the RPG, August Hahn, played, and he was like, please, can I be Poe? I said, well, can you channel the spirit of Poe right? And he was like, yeah, I can. And so he was all enthusiasm and bad puns and everything. He had the whole Poe gestalt going, and it was great.
He is an absolute treasure.
Yeah, and so he was fun, and then we did other great players too, so we just had a fun game all together. So you can see how fast it moves, and just how fun it is to do weird moves and see if the dice can make you pull it off.
And I do have to say, so the Gen Con stream, it was day 4, the second hour. So if you want to go see the actual play of that, not only did you have August, you had Quincy, and Thor Nye, who is actor. He was in most recently Rebel Moon. So not only can you find it there, but we're doing an edit, so it will be dropped as an individual stream this week, or a video this week, and then we'll start the marketing campaign to get that dropped and out there. But I do have to say as well that it is my most requests, like B. Dave Walters wants to play it, Beth the Bard wants to play it. Anytime I bring it up to people, they're like, how do I play the Kung Fu Panda RPG?
Why, look, I have a copy right here.
That is awesome.
And this is part of a stack of copies that I will bring with me to Game Hole. So if you're going to be at Game Hole, we'll have a few hard copies for sale there.
Awesome. But that is coming to PDF release, and hopefully we'll get some more games since we've got people wanting to play. By the way, Jason, as I've been trying to get, we're going to get some actual play stuff together of My Hero Academia. And as I've been trying to contact different talent, I did find someone that has been a voice actor for Kung Fu Panda. So we should talk.
Yeah. We'll have some conversations.
My favorite part of the job. Metamorphosis Alpha is something else we've talked about. How's that going?
Yeah, I still working to get that off the launching pad. Every project has a few hitches, and this one has some weird ones. But it's going to be cool, if only because I dearly love the concept of a generational spaceship and how much weirdness can happen aboard a generational spaceship when it's been going for a number of generations and not all the systems are working right and not everyone remembers they're on a spaceship and all that. So Metamorphosis Alpha, especially because it built in also some radiation leaks that have mutated some of the passengers on board. So it's a huge ship with about 15 levels. Only one of them has a city, and the others are like big lakes and farmlands and grasslands with little villages interstrewn among them. So you're going to explore this giant spaceship and run into these villagers and mutants who have no idea they're on a spaceship, and see what you can do about them. So I'm excited to work on it. We just got to get through a few potholes that broke out in the road without me knowing that they were there.
Awesome. Well, anything else RPG-wise, Shadowrun, Voltron, Frostpunk, all of the above, and
Yeah, I mean,
more that you want
Shadowrun
to
will
talk
keep chugging along with its full release schedule. We've got some cool street-focused books coming out. Mean Streets and Asphalt Jungles will be coming out soon after Deus Ex Arcana. So if you want to get down to the gritty level of Shadowrun and look at the street action, then you'll have some good stuff in early 2026 to look at. And then I don't think I can go. Oh yeah, there's explosive decompression. I should say that. So you want down and dirty, get Mean Streets and Asphalt Jungles. But then if you want to blast off into space, you can do that too. So we'll have a space source book, explosive decompression, coming out in 2026. So definitely some cool stuff on tap for Shadowrun.
Are there going to be some monads in that book?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because they're there. They live in space to give you problems.
Yes, they do.
I don't think I can talk about the other games yet. It's funny. This is the weird thing about being in this position is there's like at least one game that I put in a significant amount of work on, and others that I've at least toyed around with that I'd really like to be able to announce, but can't yet. But there's some cool stuff out there.
It just means that you're going to come on another Tuesday Newsday and talk about it then.
You bet.
Awesome.
Hopefully I'll have some news after the trip to Australia.
Yeah, that would be exciting. There's so many cool things coming. I wish we could talk about all of them. We will at some point, but secrets for now. Well, let's jump over to questions and answers then. So I've got, jumping over to the mods who are doing that work for me. Michael Chandra asks, are you looking forward to the new Shadowrun miniatures, and which set or mini is your favorite?
Oh, I'd have to look over the sculpts. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I haven't looked at the sculpts in detail for a couple of months, so I'd have to look them over to remember what they look like. So I can't answer that one honestly right now. But I am looking forward to them because Mike, as I said, Ian did a fantastic job, and we're working with some really good sculptors. So they're going to be very cool.
Michael also asks, will upcoming cons have Shadowrun takedown demos?
It depends on when we can get copies in the warehouse. So if we have some print copies in the warehouse that we can get to cons, then yeah, we'll be demoing. So that's the easiest way to do it. I know that we have people going out to Essen, so I will see if they can get a copy of Takedown in their hands. I have mentioned it to them, so I'll follow up again to see if they can bring some Takedown with them out to Germany, because that would be good to have out there.
Yeah, I know it'll be a much higher priority next year when it comes to retail after fulfillment is done and stuff like that. So there should be stuff next year at the different cons.
Not everything next year, you bet.
Yeah. All right, asking, I'm gonna go through a couple of, there's a bunch of questions for Kickstarters and Leviathans and Battletech, so I'm gonna jump over to those real quick. Let's see. Larabix Workshop. Will Leviathans be fulfilled US by the end of October? It's hard to say because keep in mind that we did a wave 1 of US charges, and then there's going to have to be a wave 2 and stuff. So I don't know. I think wave 1 will be pretty much done, but I don't know that wave 2. It depends on how big that is. So we'll know more. Please Rob Bob asks, for Leviathans, people are receiving dice packs that are different from the packs on the Kickstarter. Was this a design change or a mistake? I haven't heard anything about that. So if you could please email store@catalystgamelabs.com and let us know if they are misshipping something. We need to get on that sooner rather than later, so that we can get back to the warehouse on that. But if you could describe that a little bit more in an email to store@catalystgamelabs.com, we'll get that researched and figured out for you. Steven Strobel, is Leviathan still on track for a December 2025 retail release? It could be. My gut says no. based on how these Kickstarters fulfill, and with international getting shipped, and all of our retail stuff is still in China. We've only sent over the fulfillment stuff for Kickstarter so far. So could it? Yes, it's feasible. It's like physically possible, but will that happen with the number of like behind the scenes roadblocks we run into? Like my gut says probably not. That we'd be looking at early 2026. David Kim asks, October is just around the corner. Will we be getting a Halloween adventure this year or skip like last year? And it turns out that the graphic is Halloween, which is somewhat fitting. I don't know. I haven't heard anything battletech wise. Do we do anything for Halloween for Shadowrun, Jason?
We have not done, and we don't have anything in the works, I'm afraid.
Michael Chandra asked, do we have any idea how long Leviathan's fulfillment might take or when EU fulfillment will start? So as soon as we get, in terms of starting, my hope is that if it takes 4 to 6 weeks for China to ship the merch to the hubs, my hope is that we would be starting, like quotes would be done and we could start by like end of October. But I just don't know for sure. When I do, I'm happy to get you that info. When is the Mercs Wave 4/5 update? That should be today. We had our meetings last week. I met with the Kickstarter team yesterday to get coordination done for a couple of out of print items. Like the Succession, I know the one offhand is the Succession deck. I'm forgetting the full name of it. But that with the changes and everything, it's out of print, and I think we're short like 1 copy for 1 backer. So that's going to be like, we're coordinating the different shortages to make sure that like if it's being reprinted, which most of them are, do you want to wait? Do you want a refund? How are we going to coordinate that? So that all of that should be coming out in an update later tonight. Hi, AC. It's good to see you.
Who says it's good to see you?
What else do we have? Any word on the next Battletech RPG? I did have Aaron and Keith Hahn on a few weeks ago. And they said that like it's definitely something that they kind of kick around, but there's nothing planned in the near future. Turbo Turtle, what is the schedule for Battletech audiobooks? I covered that earlier because I saw it. Any chance of a new Battle Troops game? I'm not the one to answer that question, but I haven't heard anything about that. Doesn't mean it isn't happening, but shrug, I don't know. Wargriz asks, when will more Leviathans fiction be coming out? I don't have anything on the list for super soon, I think, but I'll definitely ping John. When is next Les fiction? We'll see if he answers while we're still on or not. Reckon asks, any news on the Leviathans tabletop simulator update or getting responses to the rules questions that were compiled and sent to the devs? I will send that one to Bryn. This is the portion of the show where I DM people. What Leviathans products will be available for retail purchase once the Kickstarter is fulfilled? Patches, pins, shirts, and more ships. Anything I think that we have leftover inventory on will, unless it was an exclusive, will make its way to, will make its way to our store. It doesn't mean it's going to retail. So our store will have all the swag items, but usually patches, pins, and shirts don't go to FLGS and distribution. But more ships. There will be more coming. Anything that is part of the core game will be headed to retail. Prussian Havoc asks, any word on when the first novel of William Keith's Leviathan's Kickstarter trilogy will be made available? I'll drop that to John as well and see if we get an answer. Scrolling. There we go. Okay. AC's back. What else do we have here? I know Dave had to jump, so I'm going to jump over to chat and see if we have any other questions that have come in. Larabix Workshop asked, a wave 2 of charges. This is for shipping. So what had happened was we had uploaded the wave. I'm distracted by Hazy Nara in the corner of my eye. We had uploaded the shipping quotes that we had gotten for people who had confirmed their addresses. So there were still people that didn't confirm their addresses by the time that we got the quotes in. Then we uploaded the quotes and then did charges. So any of the charges that went through by that deadline, that we had, whatever that was that we had done the charges, that's basically wave 1. So wave 2 would be people that have since confirmed their addresses and get new quotes uploaded, and people that for whatever reason didn't get charged in wave 1, maybe their card bounced or they didn't have one uploaded or whatever the case may be. So that would be wave 2. So it should be a much smaller wave, but that's what that should be. Let's see. With the Australian backers of the Kickstarter being told we would be given exclusive access to some products, is this for Leviathans? We have a bunch of Kickstarters, Ozzy Sturm, so if you can clarify. As to our long wait, why are we not getting anything from our local gaming stores? I'm not sure what that question is regarding. If you could give me more details. Oh, right underneath it says Battletech Merc Kickstarter. We had released Essentials to you guys first. I believe it was Essentials. I'd have to go back and look at the backer updates. But you guys had early access to, or maybe it was a salvage, but I can't remember. I would need to go back and look at the backer updates, but those were released back before summer. For FLGS before anywhere else. Thanks for confirming Takedown is going to Spiel, or the intention is to bring Takedown to Spiel, so can officially tell people they're scheduled to demo it. Any chance of a sneak preview for Q1 product releases, force packs, etc.? In the coming weeks, yes. I know that a bunch of our team just got back from a big meeting in Puerto Rico with Lauren to talk about schedule and plan for the next couple years and stuff like that. Of course, whenever we have those big come-togethers, it's only a matter of time before they fall apart, but we really stick to them for a little while. So I should have... as I get more detail about what's coming, I should be able to start getting you guys that info. Let's see. Any word on the Battletech comics, the graphic novels? I know that I had heard a couple weeks ago about John had given a progress update. But I can't remember what it was, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the chat for him. Let's see, what else do we got? Dana
I believe
asks,
the scripts are done on the graphic novels. It's a matter of them getting everything into art and lettering, but they've got that lined up, so and someone who should be able to take care of it.
That feels right, that the writing is done and now it's in art.
Yep.
Yeah. Dana asks, how is Ironwind Metals being integrated into the supply chain in distro? For now, it's very separate. So like when the announcement came out and everything, the intent for the moment is to continue them operating as is. And then there will be plans later on, but nothing that has been discussed or revealed with me just yet. So business as usual for the moment. Andrew Dickinson, will the Lev's website be updated as it's only showing the 2011 models? Do you know, Jason, when Leviathans originally came out, was that FASA or was that...
No, that was us.
That was Catalyst too?
Yeah.
I'll put that in the chat for Bryn. So I'm not sure on that one. Lorcan said it was the legendary salvage boxes that Australia had early access to. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for doing the work for me. I really appreciate you. Any news about the non-Adepticon Kerensky Con? No. I don't have any news on that for you just yet, but I did drop and some chatter. I did drop the question from the Valhalla chat into our base camp communications, and it kind of stirred up some conversation, but nothing just yet. Andy Nelson, is there still an agreement that IWM won't produce the same models as CGL Plastic? I don't know what the conversations have been, if anything, since it's business as usual for now. So my assumption is nothing's changed, but could in the future. Billy asks, sorry if this has been asked, any update on the new MUL? Yes, we gave one, I think 2 weeks ago when Aaron and Keith were on. And I know I've seen some emails that there's some issue with our hosting platform. But I haven't, I've kind of been loosely following it and like kind of just skim through as I get stuff, but until I get that it's coming, I haven't been paying too close attention until that's resolved. But you can get the most up-to-date news from that Tuesday Newsday from 2 weeks ago. And if you don't want to watch that Tuesday Newsday, Lorcan puts notes from all of our Tuesday Newsdays into the Discord server, so you can say that, go check that out there. Let's see, that makes 3 games called Leviathan. I think that's all of our questions. Jason, anything else you want to say while we wait the last few minutes for any other questions or sign off early?
Yeah, just one other little fun preview that I should have mentioned before. Back at PAX Unplugged, not last year, but the year before, we ran a preview of a game called Wizard Riders, which is motorcycle riding gangs in a far distant dying sun future. And we are moving on that again, and hopefully should have a free RPG Day version of that. So look forward to next June when you'll be able to get quick start rules for Wizard Riders at a game store near you for free.
Awesome. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a really cool setting.
We do have on PAX Unplugged stream from 2 years ago, we did run a playthrough of an early version of those rules. So if you want to check out more about Wizard Riders, which is basically Sons of Anarchy with magic among some other...
a far distant future, so, you know, also ancient alien tech that no one knows how it works and all that fun stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that, Jason. Have fun going to the other side of the world. And,
thanks. Hopefully it'll all work and I won't go crazy on the plane.
Yeah. You know, get that work done, bring some books, download the King of the Streets audiobook, and if Changeling is out by then, that one too.
I will have all the entertainment possible on my devices.
And then I'll see you at Gamehole in just a couple weeks, and I'll be running Shadowrun 6th edition, Shadowrun Anarchy, and I'll be running a MechWarrior Destiny game, so really need to read that.
All right, looking forward to all that.
Yeah, it's my first dive into battletech RPG-dom, so I'm pretty excited for that. All right, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being here, Jason, and we'll see you next week. Bye.